The phone rang fanatically. The sound was like someone throwing a brick through a window over and over. She would have to change the ringtone later. "Hello," Shannon was speaking as if she had already been up. Never let them catch you sleeping. This was Shannon's motto. "Hi, Captain White. This is Douglas Murray from the news." "Oh yes, that was very sneaky of you not identifying yourself and taking my statement as if you were a police officer." Shannon was not happy. "I'm sorry if you were misled, but I don't remember telling you I was a police officer," he said pleadingly. "No, you did not. I think that's why I'm not hanging up on you. What can I do for you?" She tried to sound like she was in a hurry. "Have you seen the news?" he asked. "No, why?" She felt a chill up her spine. "Turn on the TV. You are all over the news." She went over to her laptop with the phone still in her hand. Today's lead story, Nunchuck, nurse subdues pursuers. She went to another website. She saw Captain White wipes out New York thugs. She saw another website saying, Nurse Shannon ships suspects special delivery to the hospital. She at once closed her laptop and buried her face in her hands. "Oh my God," she kept saying on the phone. "So much for being inconspicuous," she thought. "Captain White, are you all right?" He wanted an exclusive from her. He was the one who made her famous. "No, I'm not all right." Her face was red. If he were in the room with her, she would have been arrested for the assault, she thought. Just then, another click on the phone. It was her headquarters. "I'm sorry you have to call back." Click. She switched lines. It was the major's office calling. "Captain White," the secretary said on the other end. "Yes, speaking." What could this be trance-like, she thought. "Hold on." Immediately, the major came on. "Captain White, this and Major Browning." Backstory. Major Browning was the nephew of a general. He came up through the ranks. God only knows how. He was the recruitment officer because the army wanted him far from any weapons. He would have killed himself or a friend. He was the most awkward individual to ever put on a uniform. He made Captain Peter Wrong-Way Peach Fuzz look like General Eisenhower. Major Browning tried his best, which was the problem. He tried too hard. If only he would let something happen on his own. It would work out and he would get the credit. He was a credit thief, not credit cards. If he knew someone was going to get promoted, he would find some way to get the picture. He was ingenious at getting the credit for something he did not do anything about. "Are you all right?" She assured him that she was. "I'm glad I recommended you for this assignment." He did not, of course. "We are very proud of you." This was truthful. Shannon wondered if he would have taken credit if she had been killed. He was devious enough to have found a way. He also said he was in New York also, and was planning a press conference at 1 p.m. at the university about what happened and how this was going to be used for recruitment. He also told her the recruitment phones already had tens of young women ready to enlist to get your training. He told her he was looking forward to seeing her in uniform. He hung up. Oh no, not him, she thought. Well, all she had to do was stand there. He would make sure the camera was on him. It was the most disgust display of logorrhea she had ever seen. He would not stop talking. He would hip-hop. So many people would join the Navy instead of the Army, because they did not want to be around him. Shannon remembered she had an appointment at Sunrise High School. She jumped in the shower and caught a cab. When she told the cabbie where she was going, he told her he would take her if he could keep the meter running and bring her back. She thought it would be better than trying to find another cab. "Okay, it's a deal," Shannon said. She rode across the Robert F. Kennedy Bridge, formally, the Triborough Bridge towards the Bronx. As the yellow cab blended into the crowd of cars on this side of Manhattan, it quickly became distinguishable in the Bronx. Shannon began to see the transformation of the boutique stores on one side of the bridge and turn into bodegas on the other side. She also noticed the police presence in Manhattan and police absence on the other side. She arrived at a 2-story warehouse built in 1921 called Sunrise High School. Shannon walked into the office and was greeted warmly by who Shannon suspected was Diamond. Diamond was very professional and well manicured. She was the office manager, and the office had her stamp on it very eloquently arranged. Diamond told Shannon the principal was out in the yard. If Shannon wanted, she could meet the principal out there or wait inside the office. Shannon decided to go to the yard. She was escorted by Faith, an office monitor, and was directed towards the basketball court. When she arrived, she saw a massive crowd of youths around the court. This looked ominous. What was she walking into? As she came closer, she noticed it was a one-on-one game. This tall woman against this taller youth, she was faster. His height kept him in the game. The score was tied, and he had the ball. All he needed was a jump shot, and it would be all over. He wanted to embarrass the female, it seemed. So he backed her down using his height advantage. However, she stole the ball and dropped a beautiful jump shot with perfect form. "Game," she said, as she walked away without looking at the shot fall. The crowd of kids went wild, a celebration like Shannon had never seen before. The competitors shook hands and embraced. The female said to the youth, "You owe me 5 makeup homeworks, right?" "Yes, ma'am," Jaden replied. Shannon assumed it was one of his teachers. She was wrong. It was the principal. "Captain White, nice to meet you," Andrea said as she wiped the sweat off her face. "Shannon, please, since we are on a first-name basis. Andrea, please excuse my appearance. I had to complete a deal with one of my more gifted but lazy students. He's behind on his homework and is about to miss a scholarship. His teacher was not going to pass him unless he turned in his assignment. I told him I would do it for him if he could beat me in a one-on-one game. If not, he would do the assignment this weekend. He thought it was going to be easy." They went into Andrea's office. It was 10:30 a.m. and the meter was running. Shannon began. "Sorry, I cannot stay long. I have a press conference at 1 p.m., and the taxi driver said he would only come if I let the meter run." "Oh, okay," Andrea said. "I just wanted to meet with you. Edward had told me a lot about you. I see why he was enamored with you, even in your uniform. You are adorable," Andrea continued. "You are not aware, but we met before. I played for the University of Kansas many years ago and came to your dad's school. You were with him everywhere he went. He called you Shadow." Shannon completed Andrea's words. "Yes, that was it," Andre said, smiling. Andrea was a beautiful lady. She had pictures of her basketball playing days all over her office. Why did this kid think he could beat her? Her physique showed no fat, and legs were muscular. It was clear that she worked out daily. She even had a Nordic track in her office. "Shadow," Andrea repeated. "I heard about your dad, sorry." Andrea showed Shannon a picture she took with her and her dad many years before. Shannon was shocked. Slowly, the veil of non-emotion was tearing away from Shannon. It started with a tear slowly falling out of her eyes. Then another, and another, until an avalanche of water. It had been walled up in her for months. Let the cab wait as she was in therapy. Nothing seemed essential, only her letting go. She finished. Andrea sat silently as if nothing had happened. She had seen it all in her office. Students crying, teachers crying, coaches crying, parents crying. Even the superintendent let loose because he was being fired. "We are still giving a moment of silence at every ball game. We are in the finals and have dedicated this year to him. Every player wears his number on their shoe. Some have tattooed his face on themselves against my request not to." Andrea acted like nothing had happened previously. "These schools will not be normal until the last student who knew him graduates. After hearing about his death, we needed counselors for teachers for a week and 2 weeks for kids. We wore black ribbons for 2 months," Andrea said. Shannon just listened. "Well, are you interested in teaching this summer?" Andrea got to the point. Yes, I am. Can it be science? Shannon was back front and center. Yes, it can. And I would prefer it to be. It starts on June 5th and goes to August 1st. Is that all right? I have given a placement to evaluate the only senior student in gifted classes, or have been identified as talented, will be placed in this class. That fits perfectly, Shannon said. Okay, Andrea stood up to conclude their meeting. She asked if Shannon had a dinner engagement this Saturday and would like to meet unofficially. Shannon agreed to meet this Saturday at 7 p.m. They shook hands and parted. Shannon's ride was waiting as planned as she got back to the university as they were setting up for the conference. 5 news teams were on hand as Shannon slipped in unnoticed. Major Browning spotted her first and rushed her into an empty room to speak with her. She saluted, and he returned it. Okay, the major started. I will introduce you. I prepared a statement for you. You do not go off the statement we prepared for you. Shannon glanced at the paper and saw his name mentioned about 10 times. All the other words were fillers until she got to his name. This was typical for him. He is the most attention-needing and attention-grabbing media hound the Army ever produced. Never in her life did she want something to be over with so fast. If he wanted the credit, she would give it to him if he did not stay around. The conference began, and the major took credit for sending Shannon to New York. He would have received credit for giving birth to her if it would not been fact-checked. He spoke until a reporter asked if he could ask Shannon some questions. Oh, okay, just a few. She has had a long, dark day. He had forgotten she was there. How would he know what she has? She thought the questions became hot and heavy. She answered each one without adding or taking away from the facts. She had to clear up some things. She was not a nurse, but a doctor with a degree in medicine and psychology. She practiced martial arts for 15 years and has several black belt degrees. She is a certified sharpshooter. All through the U.S. Army except the martial arts part. The major interrupted and said that Shannon is the lead person at the recruiting station this weekend to talk to females and males about wonderful life in the Army. If there are no more questions, we will conclude the conference, the major said. Shannon was walking out the door before he finished. Shannon was relieved the press conference was over. She was approached by several magazines and internet news web for an exclusive story. She conveyed they would have to check with her commanding officer, and no one wanted to do that because they knew he would want to be present and hog the attention. So they all passed on interviewing her, but they did say when she left the Army they still wanted to speak with her.